coronavirus and COVID-19. Coronavirus is a name given to a particular type of germ called a virus, which has kind of a crown-like shape to it. It actually has kind of a halo around it. And a coronavirus itself is actually a pretty common type of virus. In fact, the regular flu is literally a type of coronavirus. But the COVID-19 virus that we hear about was actually a new kind of coronavirus that was found out in the year 2019. The co part of that name stands for corona, the VI stands for virus, and then the D actually stands for disease, COVID-19. So COVID-19 is what you would call the disease that you could get if you are infected with this new coronavirus. What it is a respiratory disease. It's something that infects your lungs. It can also infect other parts of your body, but the lungs is mostly where it settles in most people. So that's why we need to take special care when we're trying to prevent spreading this disease to other people. So how can this virus get past? What can we do about it? Well, that's what we're going to find out. Let's start by talking about something I know you've heard about, wearing a mask. Right? You've heard that we should be wearing masks any time that we're outside our house. Well, why exactly? Very simple. Put your hand in front of your mouth and exhale. Do you feel that moisture on your hands? Where does that moisture come from? As you exhale, you're actually squeezing the air out of your lungs, and there's a little bit of water that's coming out along with that carbon dioxide that your body is exhaling. So if you happen to have the coronavirus infected in your lungs and you are exhaling, it's possible that some little parts of the virus would be able to exhale along with that warm, moist air that's coming out of your lungs. That's where the problem is. Because if that's then hanging in the air, somebody else can walk by, breathe that in, and now they have the virus in their body. The thing is, you could have it in your body and not even be sick from it. That's what makes this so weird. So that's why we all have to be very careful about it. So it makes sense that if we wear a mask, then when we exhale, we're not going to be spreading that cloud of potential coronavirus out here in the air. Therefore, we want to wear masks when we're outside of our house. But let's see how that actually works. To do this, I modeled some breath. So if we take a breath and exhale, it's kind of like this, a little bit of mist coming out. Now, I know that's hard to see, so let me do something else. I colored this water very dark purple, and I'm going to put it down on the floor for a second and watch what happens. So if I have this bottle of water and I adjusted it so that way it's just a fine mist of water coming out. If I squirt it, it lands out here on the paper. And it might be hard to see on the camera, but I can see that the water actually squirted all the way out here. So if I was in a room breathing, just breathing, not spitting or anything weird, just breathing, I could be exhaling and my little water droplets coming out of my lungs could actually be squirting into the room. Well, that's why we want to wear a mask. Because if a mask is on while we're doing that, I think you can see what's about to happen, right? That if we're wearing a mask while we exhale, those little droplets are not going to get very far. So that's why we want to wear a mask whenever we're outside our house. But wait, there's more. Well, I decided that I wanted to do a little experiment to see just how far a sneeze could go. So I took that same water bottle that I had, the same spray bottle that I had. So I kind of adjusted it so that it felt very similar to how it felt the last time that I remembered sneezing into my hand. So we'll go with that. And then I attached it with some rubber bands to a teddy bear just to make it a little bit more fun. Now, I've got this set up where I have a measuring tape here, and I stretched it out to 6 feet. So I'm going to start him back here. Here's where the 1 foot mark is. Here's the starting line. And I'm just going to give one quick squeeze. Ready? Chew! Oh boy. I think I see why we have that 6 foot radius thing going on. Watch this. So that one sneeze could get little particles stretched out for 6 feet from its source. No wonder it's recommended that we stay 6 feet away from people when we're Well, what have we learned? Well, a couple of things. Number one, just by breathing, we're putting out little tiny particles of water into the air, and sometimes those drops of water could be infected with the coronavirus. It could have a little virus riding along on those little droplets. Therefore, it's a great idea to wear a mask when we're out in public. That way, even if we don't have the sickness, if we don't have any symptoms, we don't even know we're sick, we still might have the virus though, and we want to make sure that we don't pass it to other people. In addition, we just learned that a sneeze can travel about 6 feet away from somebody. Therefore, we definitely want to keep both spaced apart from people and keep our mouths covered. But if you are sneezing, don't cover your sneeze with your hands, cover your sneeze with your sleeve, or as I like to call it, your elbow pit. I hope everybody stays safe, and I hope to see you all back at school soon.